Hey, James Gunn has been saying a lot. He has been front and center in the PR for Superman.
69.
And here he is in a clip. I'm going to show this. It's a little long, but worth seeing and discussing. This is him. He's breaking down his iconic films. This is from GQ. And we're going to hear him talk about Superman here for a few minutes. And then we will comment on the other side, but it's worth seeing. Check it out. Here we go.
Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
They came to me years ago and said, we'd love for you to do Superman. This is like Toby Emmerich back in 2018.
A quick comment. What is this? I know he's being interviewed for GQ, but James, I'm not one to get fashion advice. I'm mostly a t-shirt and jeans guy, but that jacket looks dumb. Am I wrong?
I didn't really see it. So.
Look at the jacket. Anyways, I'm going to ignore it and just listen to what he says. The jacket, it's goofy. Oh, God.
James can do no right when it comes to promoting Superman.
Right. Now, here we go. Come on.
Or something. I was like, I don't know how to do Superman. And I just always was thinking, how do you do Superman?
See the jacket? What is that?
That's hanging in his closet. Is that his wife's
What is that jacket?
That has to be his wife's jacket. He grabbed it by mistake.
I'll tell you this. 100%. He did not pick that out. GQ wardrobe dressed him, or his wife dressed him. And then
they looked at him and said something with a giant black pocket.
All right, just ignore this. Ignore the horrible fashion sense from GQ. I expect better. Well, let's here we go.
Superman, how do you do Superman? I had a hard time with it. It's a lot of responsibility, and it is a tightrope act, because what is it about the character that needs to remain the same, that is truly important to who the character is? And where can you take the chances and go in the other direction to keep audiences wanting to see this character that was created in 1938? What can you add to the lore of Superman in the movies to make it a little bit different? And that's when I did Suicide Squad. I have always focused on oddballs. On the one hand, Superman is the ultimate oddball. He's an alien from another planet who doesn't belong. On the other hand, he's the ultimate not an oddball. He's a strong, masculine white dude who's like just very square and center. How do I find the story that I want to tell and all of that that's going to be interesting and artistically invigorating, that also won't, make audiences run away? And so that was always just the challenge of it all.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me and doing good.
What I think it's about is goodness and the core values of kindness and compassion towards other human beings, and how it's important no matter what. Every life is sacred. Those are the values that I grew up with, and those are the values that I believe in today. I think you hear Frank Darbo saying exactly what I believe at the end of Super. When you don't do this, you don't do that, those things do not change.
You don't sell drugs! You don't molest little children! You don't profit on the misery of others! The rules were set a long time ago!
And I think Superman is about that. But he lives in a world where everything seems relative. And he lives in a world where goodness is considered old-fashioned. Goodness is considered Pollyanna. How do you tell that story about that character who's essentially a good character, but also has his own crisis of faith in the movie that we see?
Your actions, that's what makes you who you are.
I don't believe in superhero fatigue. I think there's, mediocre movie fatigue. I think you can tell stories about anything. You see the same.
So he agrees with us.
Yeah.
That is really weird. He's kind of echoing a statement that YouTubers have been saying. And I do think, oddly, there may be a reference to our friend Gary from Nerdrotic at the end of the movie. We'll talk about it in our spoiler review.
Oh, is that
I
what
think
that
it's
is?
a reference
Okay.
to. I think it's a reference to Gary.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. James Gunn watches Friday Night Tights.
I'm
saying.
sure he's aware. If he is aware on social media of what people say, he's aware of what people say on YouTube.
Same gangster movie over and over, you're going to get so bored. But if you see different types of criminals doing different things, that are involved in different activities, different levels of morality, different styles, it's not going to ever get boring. And I think the same thing is true about superheroes. And if the only thing that we have to offer is one character showing up and seeing two characters together that we've never seen on screen before, that was really exciting when it first happened. Nobody cares anymore. This concept of superhero fatigue in one way is real because there have been a lot of superhero movies that maybe haven't been up to what they should have been or what the audience wanted. You see the same thing happening across the board with movies in general, that people are not making the movies that need to bring people into the cinemas. That's why something like Barbie works so well. Barbie did something differently than what other big movies like that did, and people went to the theater. And I wrote Margot the morning that came out. I said, thank you, for helping to keep theaters alive. I saw Greta Gerwig the other day. I was like, thanks. And I think there's a few filmmakers like that now. I think Matt Reeves is like that. He's a filmmaker that makes big pop movies, but they have soul and they're different. And whether you like his movies or not, that's not the important thing. He is doing something different. Being able to see those chances being taken on a big canvas is important. I want the cinema going experience to continue. I want, my nephews and nieces and their children to be able to experience what I've been able to experience, going to a theater and seeing the magic of cinema. I just think we need to take risks. It hasn't been happening because people are so afraid of making a mistake. I think we should make a lot more mistakes.
That is the James Gunn I missed.
Mhm.
I like that James Gunn.
He clearly watches us.
No, but I'm saying the very thoughtful,
Yeah.
supportive of cinema. This is the guy I knew back in the day. The guy that came from Trauma that made that. Super is one of my favorite movies of James. I know everybody says, other films or whatnot. I love the first Guardians. I still think that may be his best movie, but I love Super. And I really want to see this movie do well. I want to see it do well.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't love it over the top, I think it's important to look. This was a big swing. It was not a miss, but it was not a home run. But I like that version of James Gunn, and good on him. Just try to avoid being baited by some of these journalists. I know it's tough. The press tour has been relentless for Superman. So there's so many situations that the cast and James are put in where he could say something stupid. But that is one of the most thoughtful interviews and commentary I've seen. And good on him for repeating things that other YouTubers have said, including us.
Yeah,
Alan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I appreciate that he didn't come off as, remember a couple weeks ago we talked about we played the video of Jared Bush from Disney Animation. It sounded political. He just sounded like he was saying what he needed to say to make everybody look good and make all his projects look good. In this case, James just felt like he was being authentic. He had actual thoughts about Hollywood, the system, and the problem of superhero films, and it felt. I mean, just the fact that he was quoting us quite a lot, it only says that he's coming off as authentic.
He's not quoting us. He is.
I like to think he is.
He is echoing thoughts that have been said by many.
I like to think he's quoting us. That's
where
that's wrong.
Where he's basically said, not bad movie. It's not superhero fatigue. It's bad movie fatigue.
Mhm.
People have been saying this. It's not an original thought, and he said it. So there you go.
No, he's quoting us.
Okay.
He watches Friday Night Tights, and he's been quoting us.
He's quoting Film Threat. Thanks, James. Thank you, James.
Next time, a little attribution would be great.
Are you going to get any of the Superman toys?
No.
You're not?
I feel like you want me to answer it differently.
Well,
I'm-
I mean, I don't know. There are popcorn buckets. They were there last night.
Yes, they were.
They had the popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
There were multiple popcorn buckets. The one I kind of want is the Krypto dog bowl because it has a practical use. A dog can use it as a dog bowl, and you can put popcorn, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you can clean it out after the dog uses it, and then pop popcorn. And eat popcorn.
exactly. But here's a look at the 1/6 scale Superman and Krypto. The pre-order on Sideshow it's $285.
Wow.
There are 44 people viewing this now, including us. That looks really good, actually. Now, does the Krypto move? I'm looking at
Doesn't
this.
look like it.
Yeah, I don't have room for anything here. I'm trying to purge possessions as it is. But man, that is detailed. I have to say,
Oh wow.
yeah, there we go. There's 18 more photos. Let's go through these. I don't have room. If I did, this could be on the list. I mean, you could just get a dog that looks like Krypto and put a cape on your dog. But I don't know, not bad, I gotta say. When it comes to merch, Krypto is the new Baby Yoda. I really believe that Krypto is going to be hugely popular.
Do we have any of the $30 toys?
Yeah, not the $300 toys.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't look like it moves.
man, that likeness is amazing.
That
Look at
right picture looks weird.
Look at that. The bulge is there. There you go. So I don't know. I don't have room. I'm mostly a Batman guy before being a Superman guy, but who knows? It could be tempted.